Welcome back to the Travel People Podcast. It's your boy JV here in Fort Mill, South Carolina, 803-280-4727, coming at you with another episode. This time we have exciting guests, Shannon and Douglas Giertz. They are a client couple of mine that I met on a beautiful Virgin Voyage back in the day when she started sailing her first clients after COVID. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what we got in store for you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You guys, we met about, we're going on almost 2 years now, right? Right? Or was it a year
Yep.
and a half? We met on Virgin
No, it's 2
Voyages.
years.
So since then, you guys have become my clients permanently. Good. With cruise platters, which by the way, it's 803-280-4727. And we've had a good relationship via text, video, funnies. For individuals who don't have social media, you guys are quite the characters, I gotta say. So tell our audience why. So tell us a little story. How did we meet? I'll let you do that.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you what. So we're getting ready to load the ship, right? Because the elevators are off. Was it off the elevators or off the ship, right? So we look back. We look inside the elevator, and we see two cool ass people, which is one, right? And then they like start smiling and dancing. I'm like, I love you guys. We will see you later. Right? And then the elevator door closed. And I'm like, all right, we gotta seek them out. So, right?
I gotta be honest. I didn't think we would see you at all the entire voyage. I thought, all right, well, we saw them. All right, they're gone. That's it. We're not gonna see them. That's the end of that. But sure enough, everywhere where we went, it was inevitable, and it just was great. It was
Well, we
great.
did the whole sail away party.
Right.
We did the whole sail away party together.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
boy.
So much
Oh,
better.
let's hope this works.
No,
my
you're
fault.
fine
I got
it.
now.
Oh, God. All right.
So
We're here.
you know what?
We're here.
I'm gonna take cue from my producer who does a great podcast called No Shortcuts. By the way, every Tuesday on YouTube, and they leave their stuff on. They leave their bloopers on. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're not gonna let the audience be, waiting for a while, but we're definitely dubbing this in. So, for a little backstory for our audience, we were trying to get connected, and
Yeah, we'll make some
phone after
YouTube shorts
phone,
out of
and
it.
yeah, definitely. You got me sweating. Look at that. I got to redo my makeup. Who's ripping off their shirt now?
I know, right?
So yeah, guys. So we got a little technical difficulty there. So we're back. I'll plug in a commercial there. I don't know, a diaper commercial or something. Because I think we all need one after that. But I was telling a story about how when we met, the whole elevator, and then we went to the sail away party. And I think Evie was telling the story, but I'll let you guys talk about the sail away party and what may have allegedly happened.
You mean after when we went to the bathroom?
Oh yeah, the one with the big window that everyone can
Yeah,
see you from.
right.
It's just- I'm like, well, there's still a big window right there. Thank God it was just the dolphins in the ocean. I mean, but they got a good
Right.
show.
They did. They did. So anyway, so quickly was the staff was bringing around champagne,
Hmm.
and they just kept bringing it around. So by the time they were done bringing it around, Juan and I had like 20 of them, and I was feeling pretty good after that.
I mean,
But
they for a cruise line, which by the way, we're talking about Virgin Voyages, and we were on the Scarlet Lady. Um, for a cruise line that doesn't have a drink package, I mean, they sure give away a lot of free drinks. I mean, that's a plus.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But then
It
you
was.
make
Go ahead.
you make friends like you guys, and it's like it doesn't matter. Let's just keep drinking.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, eating pizza and drinking, right?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Hey, we had pizza
Well,
today. No, that's a lie.
even when we went to Gumbai, they gave you a free round of the sake, and that was fun because that same night we went to dinner together.
That's
Right.
Yes,
right.
we did.
And you were the smartest one, and you won that game.
Five, 7,
8, 10,
11,
12.
13.
Oh, Tyler. It was like Andre the Giant, and then, out of nowhere, we get this big guy, and he becomes our friend too. And, and I think it was by default because, his amazing wife was like, look, I need to send you to adult daycare.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's back up. Well, hold on a second, because you and I were in the hot tub together,
Oh, whoa,
naked.
whoa,
You and I
whoa,
were naked in the
whoa.
hot tub, just you and me.
Let's keep it PG-13. We had clothes on.
Yes, you did.
We did. We did.
And that was the pajama night. That was like one of the first nights.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
again, that's what I think when we ran into you again, and then that's when we really got to know you guys.
Right.
And I know,
Yes.
I mean, I looked over and we see these two in the hot tub together. We're like, okay. So then we just started drinking and dancing together.
They were in the hot
You
tub.
brought
Meanwhile, it was like 110 degrees at sea.
It was.
Yeah.
It was,
Wow.
and we both had sunglasses on, and we both had skibbies on, no shirts, just living our best
Yep.
lives. I mean,
Yep.
why not? And that's the power of that cruise line because it doesn't matter who you are or where you're coming from.
Mhm.
You're gonna acclimate to the surroundings, whether you like it or not, and
Mhm.
you're just gonna have fun. And
Right.
and if you don't, then there's something really wrong with you. There just
Uh,
is.
I agree because the staff. What you go to your point, the staff was awesome. So every time we would go eat, I would always interview, or not interview, but talk with the staff and ask and say, "Hey, how do you like working on it?" And there wasn't one person that said they didn't like it. They loved it. And then obviously the owner of the cruise line, right? They said he is super humble, super kind,
Yep.
and he won't get in front of a stage and do his thing. He said, they will sit right. He will sit right with them, which was really
Yep.
cool.
Which
Mhm.
is really true, actually. There was a whole bunch of cruise planners and travel agents in general, the top, that were invited to do the party with Boy George. And Richard Branson showed up out of nowhere. He just snuck on the ship. I don't know. They probably airlifted him in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Probably parachuted in,
Yeah.
from
Right,
Necker Island. He probably had one of the birds from Necker Island bring him over. It's just like
right,
caw, 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 this big thing, and just land them down. So
right.
and he was just there's pictures all over online. Him, just in cahoots with everyone and just being a person, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool. For
it's
someone
neat.
who has a lot of money to buy a miniature country.
It's
Agree.
true.
I agree. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
So humble.
So
Yeah.
pizza. All right. So we got to explain to our audience, right? So I'm a pizza snob, right? I'm a Jersey boy, and I love my pizza. And I'm taking the condensation off of my cup, my beverage there. Um, and pizza, but you guys have a pizza oven, right?
Right. It's
Uh
an
huh.
Sure.
Uh huh.
outdoor pizza oven. Yeah.
Uh huh.
It's fire wood fire. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty awesome. Have you had that before? Obviously, you eat pizza.
We haven't elevated our pizza game to the point that we have an oven outside, right? We're like old school. We'll go ahead and buy the dough already made, put it in the regular oven, and as a
Okay.
matter of fact, we'll
Yeah.
go as far as buying a DiGiorno. So this whole segment sponsored by DiGiorno. And then I'll add my own toppings because
That's
there's
cool.
never enough toppings. You buy those frozen ones, there's never enough toppings.
Yeah.
Right. You always
But
add, but it's a
so you
portable pizza oven. It's a portable pizza oven, so it's not like
so
one of those brick ones.
so you can bring it to South Carolina is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yes. We
Right, right.
drive.
So that's a good thing because in order to walk in through these doors, you got to bring one of those ovens with you or the oven with you.
Okay.
So that's a prerequisite there. So no
You
walking
got
in
it.
through the doors. But tell us where are you guys at? Tell us where you're at and what you guys do for a living and why you chose to start using a travel advisor.
All right. Well, I'm a teacher. I actually teach driver's education. I've been teaching that for 28 years now.
Wait, time out,
So, yeah,
time out,
yes.
time out. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna remind the audience that we had technical difficulties here. Okay, so technical difficulties meaning that she drove cars. I'm assuming where the window you manually bring down, and there are actual functions to the radio that you have to preset. All right. So I'm just making sure that we understand that we're not test driving these Teslas or nothing like that. This is like a real car. Right.
Yes.
All right.
You got it. You got it. Pretty funny. Yes, I'm not the best with technology because I am old school. I mean, come on, I've been teaching for 28 years. So anyway, um, yes, we unfortunately, as a teacher, we can only pretty much vacation during the busy holiday seasons, which we don't normally do because of that reason, the expense and everything. So therefore, it leaves us June, July, and the very beginning of August to do any type of traveling. So we just decided 2 years ago, hey, we need to really take a cruise. We had been on cruises earlier in our lives before we met each other, and we really wanted to experience that together. And of course, once we did the research and I found Virgin, that was a no kid boat. I said, oh, this is it, honey. We're no kids are coming. We don't want kids. We love our own kids, trust me. But to vacation without them on a ship was probably one of the best parts about this whole vacation, honestly. So yeah, but yeah, so Juan, yes, you're stuck with us because you did help us book another vacation we just took in June, the day we got out of school. I don't know if you want me to talk about it, but
It
Well,
well,
was
you're
it,
stuck
it,
with us.
what I'm wondering is in this story, how you left out your participation in, and this segment is brought to you by the WWE. How
That's right,
you
brother.
missed out on right. So, you've got Hogan here, and it must have been hard to remove him from the clutches of the confines of McMahon's and the Rocks and all those guys that are. And how is this happening right now? How am I seeing Hulk Hogan on the screen right now? I mean, I'm just thrilled. And lost a little weight. Just saying, lost a little weight. That's okay. Summer
You're
body.
looking good, brother.
But you have this amazing fascination, Douglas. You really love the art of professional entertainment, of sports entertainment when it comes to wrestling. How did that happen?
Okay, so man, I'll tell you what. So when I was young, let me tell you something, brother. So, quick story. My mom raised 5 kids by herself, so I didn't have like a role model, right? So I start watching wrestling, and I'm young, right? Then I see this larger than life guy, which was Hulk Hogan, 6'7", 302 pounds, and just the blonde hair and the mustache and his energy, right? And it drew me in, and that's how it started. And there you go, man. Whether, I wasn't the wrestling, yeah, that's cool, but it was the guy himself, right?
Right.
So, which the
He,
wrestling's cool,
Mhm.
but that's
yeah.
how it
I
happened.
mean, I've wrestled, from time to time, with my dogs. They always win. But uh, but larger than life is indeed because if we go back to that hot tub, I'm thinking it's it's Hogan. I'm gonna get into a hot tub with Hogan. How often does that happen? And so that's the story I'm sticking with. So regardless of what you tell anyone, that's it. You are officially the doppelganger. As a matter of fact, I think he's making movies. You may want to sign up as a stunt double. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
like
I'm just saying. You need an
71
agent.
years old now. He's got his own beer now, right?
He does. He does.
Yeah.
And I may not drink it because I'm loyal to the Stone Cold family. So
Okay.
I mean, you just can't switch brands. You just can't. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. But so you guys are always wearing costumes, hence what you have on right now. I love it, and I love the red for VV. Of course, I'm repping the company today
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for the Travel People podcast. Of course, if you guys are listening, that's what you're listening to. You're not listening to a WWE podcast. You're not listening to Driver's Ed. This is us. So, and no, it's not This Is Us because that's a show on NBC. Sorry, Universal. Um, so I'm running off on tangent here, but I even forgot what I was gonna say. But it doesn't matter. You're wearing some cool costumes, right?
yeah, buddy. We
How
were
is that? How is that so important? I mean, I love it because you guys will send me texts, Mardi Gras or Christmas, New Year's, birthdays. You always have a theme. How did that happen?
go for it.
It's actually Hulk Hogan here. He's the one who he's just so creative, and especially during COVID, even though it was an unfortunate time for a lot of people, we tried to keep ourselves entertained. And Douglas would come up with ideas like, "Hey, honey, let's just dress up like country theme tonight," and then we would do like a country themed dinner and play country music, and we have videos of us and the girls dancing in our living room. And so he's always a creative one. I have to give him the credit for always just coming up with cool, unique ideas. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, even prior to COVID, we would do like themed dinner nights. So we did Polish, we've done Mexican, we have done different things, and it's just thinking outside. It's. I'll tell you what it is. It's thinking outside the box. And when people think outside the box, you have more fun in life.
That's it.
I love
That's
that.
it.
I love that.
I love it.
Mhm.
I want to do one for funny, and hopefully no one that's listening gets a tizzy over this. But we should do a political one, and just for shits and giggles, we should do a political one. And you guys dress up as a certain candidate
Mhm.
and wife, and we'll do the same on our part.
That
Could
would
be
be
like
Pretty
great.
sure,
SNL.
But
you know.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
I mean, I can play a good Mr. First Lady. So, but I think it'll be great
But I,
because, but what I love about what you guys do is there's an element of romance in there too. No or yes?
Oh, of course. Everything can be romantic, right?
I love it.
But you didn't bring any of those on the cruise, though. You didn't bring any costumes that I can remember on the cruise. I mean,
no.
Well, we had our red, we had
Yeah,
okay,
pajamas, and
all
the
right. So
rest
you
pajamas.
is
had
just
Yeah.
just
so
naked. That's all good.
they're not they weren't inclusive to everyone else. They were excluding
That's right.
everyone else.
Yeah.
So just so everyone knows, that's where
Right.
everything was happening. Their confines on the ship.
Yeah. Right.
But
They have great room. They have great rooms, by the way.
right, right.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
If we even remember them, right?
Right.
That is true.
You sleep,
Yeah.
eat, repeat, and don't remember. And but
Oh,
that's the
there you
power
go.
of, I think cruising in general. My agency sells everything, but I think cruising in general allows people to just escape. Just like when you go to a movie and you, you just 2.5 hours, which most movies are like 2.5 hours because Tom Hanks is making all of them. Um, it's crazy. It's like I need an intermission just to go to the bathroom, and there isn't one anymore. They
Right.
don't understand. You know, hey man, can you pause it up there? I gotta go. But cruising allows you to do the same thing, just disappear and be somewhere else. That be something else, be someone else, right? And I'm not talking about giving pretend stories. I'm just saying you as a feeling, a feeling. There's a feeling inside of us that happens when you're in the middle of the ocean. You know that if this boat is going to sink, you're gonna die, right? Um,
Right.
so maybe that gives you this adrenaline to be, I don't know, to act a little bit more childlike. No?
Yeah, no, no, that's true. I would say it's the boats are called reality's escape because you're escaping reality, right? In a fun way, right?
Mhm.
You don't worry about anything else on land, and obviously you're meeting good people like yourselves and the staff, and everybody's happy, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I
So
agree. I don't know what the boss lady thinks, but I think especially with Virgin Voyages, every time I go on one of their ships, which by the way, oh, I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. So sorry. I may be on another one soon.
Without
I just
me.
oh,
here we go.
Aw.
we'll come and
Can't make
visit
that
you
one.
then.
Okay. Come. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I think for the most part, that cruise line and their employees have done something special that most people can't appreciate yet, being that they're going on their fourth ship in September of next year. But
Wow.
as time rolls by, think about this, guys. You guys will be probably the engineers of the ideology that comes next for those next future cruisers. And that's got to be something special to be talked about because you were not only one of the pioneers to sail on one of these cruises, but history books, hopefully, they don't rewrite them like they always do, um, won't say
Right.
otherwise. But what what other vacation can you compare to having had been on Virgin? Like, is there an experience that you can say, yeah, genuinely that was that, or has there some not been something that can match it?
I would just say there's always a different element when you're on the cruise ship because you don't have to worry about, well, where are we going to eat? I mean, yes, you have restaurants that we, of course, can can talk about which one we want to go to tonight, but there's a whole different experience in having to Uber or drive or somewhere when you're on a land vacation. I feel like there's less planning on the ship, Some people really like to be on land because they do like to experience and do all the other sightseeing, which we did get to do as well on the ship. But I'm not into the whole planning. I like to just kind of get on the ship, chill. Um, Restaurants are right there. We can drink, no driving. It just
Yeah.
works. So that's just my feeling.
But with Virgin, I will say this because I've been on other cruise ships, and I will tell you again, the energy is different, the people are different, and what I loved about it was everybody could be themselves and not worry about, getting judged. And they didn't give a rat's ass, and that's okay. And that was the key, and that's why I love this one better than the ones I've taken in the past.
Right.
That's why I love the fact that you're not wearing a Speedo right now.
Hold on, brother.
So I remember.
That
Unique.
time when
I
we
remember.
went on and we met, we were kind of lucky, right? Because it was right after COVID, and the crowd was still a little, crowds were still hesitant to get on cruise ships. So we had a very, like, our experience, I think, was different that time because me and Juan went the next year again, and the crowd was, I mean, it was still the same. Everyone loved it, everyone was happy, but it wasn't the 900 people on board. We now had
That's
17,
right.
1,800 people on board. So we were used to
Yes.
going up to a bar and getting a drink right away, and no lines for restaurants. So the second time we
Yeah.
went on, people were catching on to that. Oh, Virgin's the cruise line you want to use. And the
Right.
crowd, and I told them, wow, what a difference in the size of crowd.
Oh,
So we were definitely spoiled on ours, where we had everything was just like handed to us the minute you got there.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
point.
that is a great point. I didn't think about that.
Well,
Well, good. I feel more
Yeah.
special.
yeah.
But
We were
I do
very
have to say
special.
that. Yeah, we're always special. I was gonna say I remember
Yes.
But
talking to some other people on the cruise ship, and they were saying just in general how they did feel accepting. They're like, wow, this is just so great. There's people from
Mhm.
every race, every religion, every whatever gender. I mean, everyone is accepted on those cruise ships, and everyone got
Like,
along. And like I said, that
Yeah.
just thinking about like the nightlife. Oh my gosh, that was
Yeah,
amazing. All the
it
parties that were
was.
going on. I mean, you could stay up to the wee hours of the morning if you want.
Mhm.
There's always something going on.
no cruise
But I want
director
to go
saying,
back.
"Hello, welcome to how was it, hon, on Princess? Hello, this is your captain. Today we have the wonderful Jody, and she will talk to you about your schedule." Meanwhile, it's 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning, and he's like,
Right.
"Hello." I'm like, "What is going on? Did I get and it had because I can go even further because when I did the product review alone with a whole bunch of other advisors, it was about 300 of us on board the Scarlet Lady. And you want to talk about ghost town? It was ghost town. I mean, there was more employees than there were cruisers. And
Wow.
we were given just about we went up to the captain's quarters. We went up to the deck. We saw the pilot station. I mean, we sat in the captain's chair. Um, we had a really exclusive, uh, product tour that most people don't get on a regular basis. But you know, when we got on, when we met you, that's when I felt the vibe for the product because I was unsure, even being someone who is, I guess the right word, the politically correct word is artisan, person that I am, because I'm an extrovert and I'm accepting of anything and everybody. Um, so long as the only person who can rip their shirt off is Douglas and Hulk Hogan in front of me. So I want to put that, but and it doesn't feel that way. It didn't feel that way, and it felt comfortable. It felt lively. It felt genuine, and it's very rare because Disney does a great job of teaching DRE, Disney Regional Enterprise Customer Service. They're beyond one of the best, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to genuineness, there's something unique and authentic because we've made friendships with the cast, the Happenings cast, which is what they're called. And these people, we know their lives, who they are off the ship when they're not working. And some of them live completely different lives than their characters. And you wonder, wow, they were able to do this day in, day out for 90, 180 days, whatever it was their contract was. I mean, that plays a toll on you. Forget about playing the Joker on some movie. I mean, you're the Joker every night. Could you imagine?
That's true. That's
my
so
my
true.
my darling Melinda went off on a ship and now she came back as this monstrous evil queen from a Disney movie, right? So yeah, I mean, but you don't get that. You don't feel that. And we love sailing in general. I mean, I'll be on another ship in October for Princess Cruise Line, and they do a great job. And what we've seen is that most of the industry has pivoted their product in one form or another, whether it's technology, customer service, food, um, or just the ambiance in general. So, um, being that, what are some of the products that you guys are seeing right now that you guys are saying, "Well, man, that looks pretty interesting."
What do you think?
Um, some of the products. Well, I'll tell you what. Something I don't know. Something online came up, and it was a some ship for Jimmy Buffett. I just saw
Oh,
someone.
Margaritaville at sea.
Yeah, yes, there you go. And that caught my eye. It's like, oh, something new, something different, And again, I was just looking more at like the atmosphere of the ship. Um, I don't know. I guess yeah, maybe some of the food that was included in there, the drinks, that kind of thing. And of course, the activities. I do have to say, too, just to go off on a tangent for a second, but with Virgin, I did partake in some of their exercise classes when I was able to get my butt out of bed after a long night of drinking. But I felt like I had to do something to compensate for all that alcohol. But I really, really did enjoy their workout classes. I mean, there were some top notch that my gosh, I hadn't worked that hard in a long time. So I do have a plus for that. There were a phenomenal classes that you could do on on the ship. But anyway, so the whole margarita thing, whatever that's all about, that kind of
Yeah,
caught my eye.
Margaritaville is insane. They're a small product, right? And they've been
Yeah.
around for a good number of years now, but they really didn't exploit the opportunity for their own ships until now. And they dock at most of the major ports, but they're really a Florida, Key West, Bahamas type of cruise. And they're like me, I may be wearing a sweater, but I promise you I'm wearing flip-flops. So it's all about the flip-flops. If I can wear
Yes,
flip-flops for the rest of my life, that's it.
I
Snow in the
agree.
flip-flops, whatever.
Yep.
Flip-flop. You know what? That's what I'm going to invent. My next invention, it's going to be patent. So don't take it. It's on here. All right.
I love it.
Um, it's going to be boots that convert into flip-flops. Flip-flops
Mm,
are already inside the boot, right? So
awesome.
you
That's
unzip
awesome.
from the front and you
Yep.
peel it back.
That,
Just saying.
I
Just
You
saying.
love
guys
it.
are
You
I
the
know
like
what?
that.
encouragement he needs
Shark
to
Oh, I
go
Tank,
out
love
and
here I
it.
come.
actually to go out
You
You
and
know,
know,
do
I have a
it.
question. I have a question, Juan. Which I've heard from the past that like Kiss has had a tour on a ship. Def Leppard's had a tour. Are those popular among um, you know um, these bands? How
yeah,
often does this
yeah.
happen?
As a matter of fact, my producer's co-host, Jerry Hartson, aka Midas, him and the chairman of the board will be playing on a um, a revenue cruise for their band. So it is more popular than you think. So bands, especially bands that are either retired and not played as much, or bands that are recirculating, we'll do a tour. I mean, there's a whole WWE cruise that
Oh my.
happens. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I believe
There's
it's
also,
Carnival.
hun, isn't there? I think Carnival also does a ship rocked, so it's a
Yes,
whole.
the 80s.
Like they have all these rock bands that take over the cruise ship for that one sailing.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I
that's
know of a
cool.
girl who does it every year. She'll book that one cruise every year, and it's
Wow.
all your rock bands on the cruise ship.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
That's
cool.
You
cool.
guys would really enjoy that. And then there is, of course, for our NFL fans, for NFL season kicking off today, no shame in plugging anything. Um, so, yes, NFL, Thursday night football tonight,
That's
game
right.
one. I believe it's in Kansas City. Um, I'm
That's
not
right.
sure. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to watch anyway. My Giants suck. Um, uh,
So do the Bears. Don't worry.
the Bears, their hard knock season. Oh my gosh, that's the only play they're going to get is on HBO Max.
Right.
Anyway, as
That's right.
if I keep doing this, I will forget what I'm talking about because I have a tendency of doing that. But NFL, there is another cruise planner in Tampa. Um, Tawny Sons. They are fantastic. Now, don't go use them. 803-280-4727, people. They're great. All right. But I'm just saying I'm greater. All right. Cruise Planners, Fort Mill,
That's
South
right.
Carolina. Um, but no, they're great. If you do call them, tell them I sent you. Maybe they'll give me some commission for that. Um,
We'll never do that.
they
We're staying with you.
they they did their second NFL cruise with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is super cool. I think what you're seeing with travel advisors now is that we're jumping into a realm where we have to compete against AI. We have to compete against the products that we're partnered with because we don't compete in price, but we compete in what kind of idea, what kind of theme are we going to sell to our client? What's next? And we're constantly doing R&D to figure out what can we entice someone rather than your typical cruise that's been offered for the last 35, 40 years. So I've been very fortunate to have access to all those concert cruises. Do I like doing them? Not a big fan of being in a confined space like a mosh pit, but on a boat. But if you are, just remember there are pools. There's so much one deck can handle. We all saw Titanic, and I am not Jack, and you are not Rose. Although we can dress up as that if you want, we can.
That's right.
We can do that. We'll get on any ship. All right. You tell me the date, the time you want to do this. I will. If you want me to be Rose, that's fine. Just
If he
remember.
just dress up as Jack and Rose, I'm not going with you.
Well, who's gonna take the pictures?
No,
Yeah.
that's not a good sign. We will not go as
I
Jack and
mean,
Rose.
that'll be the only time you see me in drag, and it you wouldn't want to miss. You wouldn't want to miss. I mean, yeah, although to digress. All right, get back serious. Um, um, so being that you guys are landlocked in Chicago, sort of, right? You guys got this big lake over there, right? This thing
Right.
you guys call Lake Michigan for some reason. But it's like in 3 states. It's so confusing.
Yes.
Um, actually, it's like 4 states, five, 4 or 5. I don't know. It's just so confusing. Anyway, um, you guys are landlocked. You guys are always, if you're going to cruise, you have to fly, right? Unless you're going to be like Canadians who all drive to Florida. Why? It's crazy.
Right.
They're all
Not it.
driving down there. Have you seen I-95? Well, maybe not, but oh my
No.
gosh, Canadian
Wow.
after Canadian, and they don't know how to drive. I don't know how you guys do it in
Hey, we got a
Chicago.
driver's ed teacher. She can teach you.
Well,
That's
you may
right.
want to cross the border and help them out because, driver's licenses are in need up there from what I understand. All the Americans going up there. Maybe that's what it is. All the Americans trying to go up there. But
Right.
you guys are landlocked and you guys recently did rail bookers. how was that experience in comparison to other vacations that you've done where, you had the opportunity to be on cruises or maybe take a land vacation here or there that you had to fly to, but how is this different?
Well, I would say it was more relaxing, actually. It was more relaxing because once you're on the train, you're on it for however long you're on it for. Whether it was like ours was like 2.5 days, pretty much. I mean, it was straight. We did our little 30 stops here and there between Chicago to Seattle, with a couple 20-minute air breaks. But it was just relaxing. And what I found really cool was that as we're going through National Glacier Park, I thought, oh my gosh, so where we went through, no cars could go through and no airplanes could go through. So we were
Wow.
seeing amazing stuff that no one else could see unless you're on a train. And so it's like
Wow.
that uniqueness right there made it all worth the while.
Yeah, no doubt. And then the observation car, that was really cool. And then again, you meet some really cool people. We're playing cards with them. You eat all three meals. You eat with somebody different. So it was really cool. And I got to tell you, when you say train and you say food, people look at you like you have three heads. I'll tell you what, the food was fantastic. All three meals,
Awesome.
man. I was very, very impressed by that.
Yeah, they,
Yeah,
they
it was.
really do a great job through Amtrak. Of course, rail bookers, you can book through their agency all around the world, and they've become a great partner of ours. As a matter of fact, Evie and I are planning Italian vacation, so we're doing rail bookers. We just haven't finalized for other reasons. Of course, we have some situations in life that have occurred that have paused some vacations, but that's okay. We're going to get back on it. But rail vacations are something that most people in the US look at and they're like, no, I'm not doing that. And they don't think like what you just said. The emphasis of seeing areas or iconic destinations through a different lens, through a different perspective, and maybe so remote that you only can see it that way. And I think that's great. I love that you guys emphasize that and that you guys were able to share that story. But what I want to know is b- going back to your costumes. All right, costume inspired and vacation inspired. What? Tell me a vacation because you guys have a really great story how you met, and I want you to share some of that. But tell me, like when you guys first went on vacation, were you inspired by a specific theme or something that occurred, or was it just like, hey man, I need a vacation. You need a vacation? Let's go on vacation, right? So what happened there?
Yeah, I would say so. I would just say we just go with the flow, man. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, we're gonna make something of it. I mean, that's it, man. It's not like, hey, this is a theme. We're just gonna go into it, and if it's there, we're cool with that. If it's not, that's cool too, though. But we would rather have something like that. If
I
that answers the question.
Well, I would say that pretty much our first couple vacations, once we when we started dating, were pretty much to concerts. We've flown
True.
Vegas a couple times to see Def Leppard. We've been to Nashville. Trying to think, oh, we went up to Boston right after our Virgin cruise. We jumped ship and then
That's right.
changed our plans literally last minute. We're like, wait, we can see Def Leppard and Motley Crue again that we just saw in Chicago. Up in Boston, we're going. So I'd say a lot of that's kind of our driving force with some of our vacations has been, let's go follow the bands that we love that will not be around forever.
So
So
I
kind of,
would you
yeah.
agree? So I think you guys are sort of like Evelise and I, and where we don't need like when we plan a vacation, a lot of times I'll get couples that'll say, "Hey, I'm planning a vacation, but We're waiting on Sally and Jimmy. They may want to come too, but it's just kind of like they need a buffer, right? Like Evie and I will just go and just have a blast. If we meet people, we meet people. Would you describe
Yes.
yourselves as that?
100%.
Yep.
And going back to your point earlier, you guys, you two are the same exact people like us. Totally 100%. And I think that's what brings us together, the aura, the energy. And look at this, because let me tell you something, we're going to be friends until I die, man. And I will be totally loyal to you guys forever, as well as Shannon will. So, hey, man, you're the same people, and we love you to death, man. And that's how it goes.
Yeah,
I
we love you
appreciate
back.
that.
It's so funny that you say that because and Juan is a testament to this. We've met other folks on cruise ships and you text for a little while and maybe you're close enough that you have a dinner and then it fizzes out, but it just seems like we've kept that even though we're far apart, we've kind of
Right.
kept that same level of friendship and excitement that we had when we met the first day on Virgin Voyages. And I love
Yep.
that.
I know.
Totally.
We cannot wait to see you guys. We're
I
always saying, okay,
know.
when can we get to Carolina? When can we,
I know we were hoping to be there for our anniversary this year, but again, life threw us a curveball. We were going to go surprise you guys up in the Windy City, but things have a way of happening, and I think what I feel is this. Look, life is too short to plan around anyone else. So, for my audience, as we start wrapping up, I think people should understand that there's only one option, and that's the option you're living right now. You know, I know so many people like myself once upon a time who were always caught up with either a certain, I don't know, system or process or political agenda or something that was occurring, and it just was obsessive. And if we just live, have fun, and be creative, there's no need to need that buffer, couple. You're gonna meet people like yourselves. You're gonna have fun, be engaging. Unless you're an introvert and that's your thing, and all you want to do is play checkers, cool, man, whatever, you
True
know.
that.
But
True
but
that.
Mhm.
don't seclude your life to one perspective, because I love having you guys on so that you guys can alleviate some of the misconceptions, especially down here in the beautiful South. I mean, we live in an incredible area, guys. We're so blessed to have the opportunity to be where we're at. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, all the way. The boss lady, she came up from Perth Amboy and by way of Puerto Rico, so she knows hard knocks. But it's just so amazing how we can polarize ourselves to a certain aspect of thinking just because a general population says, no, you have to follow this. So it's
Mhm.
refreshing
Right.
to have another couple who's exactly like us and can say, no, no, we can enjoy that and still be those people, right?
Right.
That,
Yeah.
I mean, am I crazy or what?
No, no, you're right on that. And to my point earlier, thinking outside the box. That's how people have fun, and that's how people grow and experience new things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that's the
I
bottom
like
line
that.
with that.
I like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Oh,
So I really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing some stories and all the technical mishaps and and your dogs and my dogs barking on both ends, and you
I'm
know
sorry.
and our audience should
That's
know
okay. My
this is
kid just
something
walked in the
new.
room and I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think my son was on the background, and you might have seen him for a quick second, but
but
it's this is
it
this is
makes it
what we
real.
do
Keeps it
here.
real.
it does.
you
It
know,
does.
she and I are just regular folk, following a dream. She still works 9 to 5. That's why she's the boss lady. I work as the clients come in and create content for various products and myself now with the podcast. So people should know, if you have a dream, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you just do it, just do it. Why wait? Hey,
Agree.
what's incredible is and I'm going to give myself a plug here because I never give myself enough credit for this. This May, I'll be graduating from college at 48 years old.
Come
College,
on.
Oh, good
college.
That's
job. Wow.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
excited for you.
I appreciate that. And
Never
I'm
Man,
too
not saying
late.
it's a
no,
boast, because I don't want people to think, oh, he's boasting, whatever. No, it's
No.
not about that. It's about showing people
right.
that there's opportunities no matter where you are in life. There was times where I wanted to give up, even with my business. First 6 months, I told boss lady, I don't know what I'm doing, but I screwed us over with a lot of money. And she was like, no, just stick at it. Things will work out. And here we are,
Mm-hmm.
3 years, 3 years into this
Wow.
process. And
That's
it's a dream.
Wait.
awesome, man. Hey,
Yeah.
determination, man. Determination and perseverance, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's people like
Yeah.
yourselves, word of mouth, and then products like Virgin that have helped me, excel and do well. As a matter of fact, the BDM for our region was our first ever podcast guest for Virgin. So, shout out to Tracy Aldridge in the Carolinas here. But guys, I really appreciate it. We're running out of time, but you guys are beautiful. Normally, I would ask my guests, well, how can somebody reach you? No, we don't want nobody calling or texting you unless you want
You're
to.
our friends.
But give us some inspirational words and why people should use a travel advisor.
I would just, I would recommend it because you are the expertise. You know exactly every detail that, a person like us would need to know about as far as, I mean, just everything. Like the airplane to like every little detail of getting on the ship and what documents you need, and then what do you need to wear, what other activities are going on. I mean, you want know everything, and that takes a lot of pressure off of me because like there's your type A, type B people. Some people love to do the planning. They want to get every single detail down themselves. I would rather pay you to do it and trust you. It's more trusting you than trusting myself sometimes and figuring out the plans. So that's me. I'm more laid back and chill.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
guys so
agree.
much.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, hey guys, once again, thank you so much as we wrap up the fifth episode of the Travel People podcast here on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you stream your podcast. Um, Preferably Spotify and YouTube, people. Let's get those numbers up, please.
All
Anyway,
right, brother. And what are these people gonna do when Evie and Juan and my main man Travis, who's doing all the technology stuff, run wild on you, brother?
yeah.
Love you guys.
We love
All
you
right,
guys
guys.
too.
Thank you so very much.
Love
Oh,
you.
you're
Again,
welcome.
See you, man.
truly appreciate it.